Hello, and welcome back to the Conscious Contact Podcast. And today is the Christmas episode. I love Christmas. I also love Hanukkah, but it has its own time and place. And Christmas is where we are at right now. I am, in the midst of figuring out when I'm going to wrap presents, which is very soon. The time is upon me and finalizing things that I've gotten for people. We finished the last bit of shopping today. At least I hope so, because it is getting crazy. Trying to be intentional this time of year. Wow, extremely hard. I don't think anyone that I've gotten gifts for will listen to this before I give them their gifts, but I'll try to be as vague as possible to avoid spoiling anything. If there is someone that I've gotten something for that potentially could listen to or watch this beforehand, because I think this is going to go up on Christmas Eve. Yeah. So you hopefully, who knows when you're watching this? It could be years from now in the middle of the summer, but I'm recording this for Christmas 2023, which is crazy. This year has flown by, and I'm really grateful for kind of everything, honestly. And I say that not as like a cop out, but like legitimately this year has been amazing. And I have so much to be grateful for, not only just, what we've talked about here and on YouTube and the success that that's been having and the amount of people that I've been able to reach and have conversations with is amazing. This was just something I wanted to do in the tail end of lockdown for COVID because I just really needed human interaction. And it has evolved into this, tiny community, and everyone is really engaged, and I'm really looking forward to what 2024 has got in store as well. But in life in general also, we're nearing the end of a home build and moving there, within the first quarter, hopefully, of next year. And just Christmas in general. I've been listening to Christmas music since early November. That is just who I am. That's totally okay if it's not who you are. I'm wearing, a light up headband and a Christmas sweater, of which I own many. This is just the easiest one for me to get to for this video. Shout out to the most recent season of Rick and Morty. Highly enjoying. And I wanted to talk a little bit today about intentionality in this season and, trying to focus less on what we are giving people and trying to focus more on the intention behind why we are giving people these things. So I'm going to start with one person who I know that I will see prior to this video going out. My good friend, Susan, who used to be the co-host on this podcast. I'm going to go catch up with her and see how she is doing. And it's so hard. I feel like I know people, and then as soon as I try to buy them a gift, everything just goes out the window. And I've been looking for something. She reads a lot. She loves books. So do I. And I wanted to get something that she's never read, which is also very difficult. And something that she may be into, she may not be into. And if it isn't something like a book that she's into, I know that she is wonderful about giving other people books because she knows exactly what they would like. So I tried to find something. And I ended up being able to find an author signed copy of a new book that's just come out. And yeah, I'm hoping that tickles her fancy or is at least intriguing to her. But yeah, mostly my intentionality behind that is saying, like, I know that she gets books as gifts all the time, or I would assume. I wanted to try to find something a little bit different, having something that was signed by the author, I think is really cool. So I was like, well, if I think it's cool and she likes to read even more than I do, maybe she'll think it's cool too. But the name of it, I think kind of is going to lead me down a conversation that I want to have with her and being able to reconnect and just really, catch up on each other's lives. And being able to set that intentionality before heading there tomorrow morning. That's something that I have really been striving to do is when I know I'm going to meet with someone I try to intentionally think of, okay, what do I need to remember to ask them about? What have they been excited about recently that I need to follow up on? Those type of things, so that I can make sure that I'm an engaged participant in the conversation and not just sitting there. I love a good, whatever comes up, let's talk about it thing, but I do also want to try to be better because my memory is trash. I mean, it's really, really bad. And I've been trying to keep the things that people say to me in some form of catalog in my brain so that I can try to, reach in there, squeeze something good out, and hopefully have them feel seen and heard. And, I want people to know that I do think about them, even when we're not, catching up and getting coffee. So there's part of that. There's gifts that I need to get for like younger people, and those are so hard. We were walking around, looking at the toy aisle, and I'm thinking, like, none of this, to me, it just would feel weird. That it was mostly, just tiny things that you're gonna throw away that are pointless, or they're branded from a TV show or a YouTuber. I was shocked at how many like YouTube channel based products there were. There's like that little kid that opens stuff. There's like two guys who I've never heard of, obviously, because I'm not in that age range. But they had a whole like aisle of stuff just from them. And that was really interesting to me to see how the YouTube industry has then shaped, real in store products, which is fascinating to me. But like, I don't know them. I don't think these kids know them. They're not particularly super fans of a series or a movie or a show. So it's like, well, what do I get them? Because if it's not that, it's like Pokemon or Minecraft or, whatever. And for some of the older kids I'm buying for, like, yeah, that makes sense. They've expressed interest in that particular game or item. And I know that they would be thrilled to have that type of merchandise. But buying merch from someone or a show or whatever for tiny children, I don't know. Something about it was just making me feel kind of weird. So I tried to find things that were learning based, and books. I love to give kids books. I was an avid reader when I was younger, and I think it's really important because I know it's not going to be the gift they're the most excited about, and I totally understand that. I am not worried about how they receive it. They could open it and toss it aside, move on to the next thing. That's totally fine because I know their parent, is going to read that to them potentially. They're going to have that. They could potentially pass that down to their kids when they get older. Who knows? I love a legacy gift. I'm a huge fan of that. I had the whole series of Dr. Seuss. Like, I can remember it vividly. Like, I had a little stand for all the books and everything. I mean, it was like this wide of the skinny Dr. Seuss books. And I'm not going to have children. And Luke had a young niece back when these books were kind of given back to me from my mom. And I was like, you know what? I really want someone to enjoy it. And she was already an avid reader, and she still is. And I was like, I think that this would serve her really well. I feel like this is who I should give these to. So I kind of passed those on to her, and that felt great. And my name's written in the book. She can write her name in the book. I'm sure I colored on quite a few of those pages. She could have colored in quite a few of those pages, and now she's about to be 13, and that is mind-blowing. So I'm trying to like figure out, okay, what would I want as a 13-year-old, and that's really difficult. I don't know if anybody else is buying for that age range, but man, I think I did okay, but it is yet to be seen. My in-laws, finding gifts for them, there's always something that I kind of have in my head. And Luke and I, since we're getting ready to move, we have this huge pool table in our current house that sits in the dining room area, or what you would use as a dining room. And it has since we've lived here, and it has since before we bought the place. We bought it with the house because we thought, what else are we going to put right there? A dining table? Oh no, and I was just a different person that time. I saw no reason to have like a fancy dining area because I'm like, oh, it's just going to be me and Luke. I didn't really know how to cook that well yet, and I just didn't think about it. And as the years have kind of progressed, because we've been in this house for 6, almost 7 years, if not 7 years by now. I've been really sad that I don't have a place where I can have people over to eat, and that is something that I've kind of thought about a lot. And Luke's rightly so always been like, well, we're going to move soon. Why would we, go through the trouble of getting a space set up? Because we've been building this house for like 2 years. So I've been thinking about it a while. And his in-laws have just redone his parents, my in-laws, have just redone their basement area, and they have a game room. So Luke's dad bought Luke's mom a old school, I think it's Pac-Man, or it might be a multi-game machine, but I think it's Pac-Man machine that's in there already. And I think they have a foosball table. And they had kind of asked like, hey, what are you guys going to do at the pool table? And I was shocked that Luke was like, come and get it. Because I've been trying to get rid of this pool table for years now. And I was like, yes, this is a 2-for-1. This is a gift for them. And it helps me out. Serendipitously, I don't know if that's a word, but my aunt had messaged me maybe like a week prior to that conversation with them and was like, hey, I'm getting rid of some stuff. I've got this big dining table with leaves and chairs and everything. Do you want it? And I was like, yeah, I just don't know where we would put it because we've already bought the dining table for our new house. And I was like, oh yeah, I don't know if I'll have a place to use it. And then we had that conversation with my in-laws and I was like, yes, if I can still have the table, please give it to me. So we're going to go get it when we go visit for Christmas. We'll drive back with it on Christmas Day, which is like, wow, what a great, side Christmas gift. And hopefully I'll be able to have people over to eat in the last couple months that we live in this house. So I'm stoked about that. Things working out that way is really cool. And then whoever buys this home when we put it on the market, will offer them the ability to take the table with the house if they would like, kind of like we did with the pool table with the previous owners. So very, very excited about that. And again, the intention behind it, I don't want the table just for the table. I want it to foster fellowship and be able to have people over and serve my community in that way and my friends in that way, my family in that way, because I haven't been able to. We eat on the couch in front of the television, which, not ideal, but when it's just two people and there's no children, it's, that's just what you do. So now there will be a dining room table and I get to, decorate it for the season or the holiday. And I don't know. That kind of stuff like brings me immense joy. So I'm extremely excited about that. But intention behind his parents and that gift, like I'm so excited that they're going to be able to use that. His mom is fantastic at pool. So I hope that we get to play on Christmas Eve. I'm trying to think of all the ways in which we can enjoy it. So that's really cool. I'm gifting a couple of things that are kind of for both of them, but mostly for my mother-in-law. But again, it benefits my father-in-law. And I don't want to say anything because this is going to go up during the day on Christmas Eve and she won't have gotten it yet. So I don't want to like jinx it. And, who knows? I don't want her to hear. I don't want to ruin a present. But yeah, I'm staring at them now. They've been here in my podcast room. So I'm happy to get that all cleared out and have my headspace back. Cause like, I don't know about you, but a cluttered area clutters my mind and I just cannot focus. So I'm going to get ready and start wrapping those gifts. And the thing and I can't remember where I heard it from. I don't know if it was a podcast or a book or what, is someone was talking about, wrapping gifts and how it can feel like, oh, it's just another thing on the to-do list of the holidays. And this is like a broader narrative that I want to jump into too is, and we've touched on intentionality, but like when you're participating in holiday activities, like putting the tree up and decorating it, to me, I don't ever want it to feel like just another thing I need to get done for Christmas. That is Christmas to me. You know what I mean? Like decorating the tree is an event. I try to put on the Christmas music and put on a red dress and just really lean into it and enjoy it. And when we move, I want to have other people over so that they can help decorate the trees and like have cookies and, like little appetizer snacky things and just be really enjoy every part of it. And wrapping presents is one of those things that it's like, oh, you got to do it. And instead of it just being this thing to do, again, I'm going to put on the Christmas music. Each gift that I wrap, I'm going to look at it and think about the person that I'm going to give the gift to. I'm going to put, all the good vibes onto it. I'm going to, say a prayer for them and really try to be mindful in that moment because it isn't just another thing to do. It is the thing. There's a certain point where your to-do list becomes like your active life, and it doesn't need to be this thing that you're rushing through all the time. And I'm guilty of that. Like I just think, oh, I got to get this done. I got to get this done. And I don't ever stop to realize like this is still my life. This is still minutes, hours, days worth of time of my life, and I'm just like getting through it. That sounds like a horrible idea. And like how much of a waste is that going to be if I look back on it? So I want to really take the time to focus on what the whole point is and to lean into that so that I can enjoy every moment of it because you only get what if you have a long life, 90 Christmases of which you don't remember the first 5, 6, 7. That's a big deal, and I wanna enjoy it, especially because I love it so much. Like, I am that annoying person, that is over the top with Christmas, and I love it, and it's a family thing. I mean, we have been Christmas people forever. I got to see they're digitizing a lot of, like, our VHS tapes, and there was Christmas of '95 back when we still lived in Alabama. It was at my Aunt Jennifer's house, and I watched it with Luke, and he's watching it and he's like, "Whoa." And I can tell he's like getting a little worked up. And I was like, "What?" He's like, "You guys are all just opening your gifts all at once and nobody knows what's going on and everyone's running around." And I'm like, "Yeah. And do you see how much fun we're having?" Like I'm the second oldest. So my oldest cousin would probably have been like 8 or 9, 10, maybe. I was 5. My the cousin younger than that, my cousin Jesse, he would have been 4. And then Nathan and Ryan would have been maybe like 2 and 1. So there's a bunch of kids, and my grandfather plays Santa, and he has for, as long as I can really remember. He takes time out of his Christmas enjoyment to put on the full getup, and he's grabbing the presents, and none of us can read other than Clay. I think the oldest could probably read. I was like getting there at that point. And he would read the names and then hand it to one of us so that we could take it to whoever the gift was for. And a lot of them were ours. So, we're all opening it all at once. And Luke is like losing his mind because that is not his, version of Christmas. That's not his memories of Christmas. Everyone opens one thing at a time and everyone stares at them. And I've come to appreciate that, but that is like not the vibe at that Christmas in that video. It's everywhere. And I could tell it was really getting to him. And he mentioned it a couple more times. He's like, "This is just giving me anxiety watching everybody do this." But I said, "Look, none of the adults are yelling at anybody. We're just let to be kids, and it's just a good time, and everyone's acknowledging the gifts and what they got, and they're saying thank you to everyone. It's just all at once. It's all happening all at once." But it was so cool, and I got to see my great grandmother on my mom's side was in the video, my stepdad. Like it was really really a special thing that my family has been doing. I don't know if they know how special it has been to me. So if any of them are watching or listening to this, I want you to know how special that is. And it's really nice to have that in a digital format now that I can enjoy forever, and I can put it on at my house at Christmas and play that in the background. It was so lovely. And I think the video was like 20 or 30 minutes. It was fantastic. I really enjoyed that. And I'm hoping to start being able to cultivate that type of Christmas memories for the people that I bring into my home. That is what I am really looking forward to, because Luke's mom has hosted their Christmas since the beginning, and I want her to be able to kick her feet up and really enjoy it and be able to get to experience some of my Christmas traditions, and me be able to learn, more recipes and things from her so that I can bring that in and keep that going too. Because I love a legacy gift, and like you giving me a recipe of something that you know how to make. Because like my side of the family, we make rock candy every Christmas. I think we normally start making it before Thanksgiving so we can have it then. But having those recipes and being able to know that I get to make that in my new home and have Luke's side of the family enjoy that, because I brought them bags and stuff, but they haven't gotten to see like a full production of it. And have Luke's niece be able to help me make it, and, just having everybody present for that. And me getting able to really, hands on learn how to make Luke's grandmother's truffles and chocolate dipped pretzel sticks, and her stuffing at Thanksgiving, which I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to master that. I really do not. You can pray for me, but she's really going to have to break it down, because it's so good. And I just am, I don't know if I've got the experience to be able to nail that one on the first try. So I don't want to ruin Thanksgiving. So I might have to have her make that maybe 1 or 2 more years till I get it right. But I love the idea of the season of change that's about to happen for us, and I guess for everybody around us, because we're going to have a new place for people to come to, and hopefully they can enjoy that with us. So very, very excited about all of that. I'm just kind of gushing about everything that I'm stoked about in life. But I hope that you're getting like the underlying piece of this. Christmas is not about gifts for me. Yeah, they're lovely, and I would never, be ungrateful for any that I get, but really spending that time with people and being able to take something in from them and them leave feeling seen and heard from me, that's kind of the point, just the joy, the excitement, I'm the first one to try to put on Christmas music or a good Christmas movie, and, you know, kick it up a notch, I guess you would say. And really thinking about what can someone use, because I love a functional gift, and I know that that's not normally like the glitziest thing or the most sought after thing, but to me it makes sense. To me, that's what I prefer, is something that is tangible, something that I know that I'm going to use, something really, well, useful. I already said it. And it's it's something that it's hard to describe to someone, because again, I don't want to come off as ungrateful or that I don't enjoy everything that anyone gets me. But I love, again, legacy items and things that I know I'm going to touch like on a daily or weekly basis. I think that makes such an impact. Or learning opportunities, there's a lot of really cool stuff that I'm trying to keep in mind when I'm buying for smaller little kids. And yeah, I think I finally got some stuff for Luke. He's the hardest person to buy for, because if he sees something he wants, he just gets it. So it leaves me no space to be able to get that for him. But yeah, I've been really trying to focus on being present with him, making our own traditions. Me and him open our gifts to each other on Christmas Eve. That way we have that time in that space with just the two of us to be able to do that. And then we can enjoy everything else, and we don't have to worry about that piece of it. And we get to be present and serve and enjoy them and their company. So we're starting to create stuff like that. He helped me decorate the tree this year, which, like, wow, big deal. And yeah, I am really, the theme for Christmas for me has been intentionality, has been trying to be present as much as possible when I'm thinking about getting something for someone. If I really just can't quite crack it and I can't figure out something perfect for them, because some years, you've got great gift years and some years you don't. And for me, it was a little iffy this year, but I try to plan something additional with them. So whether it's coffee or a lunch just with us together and spending that quality time with them in addition to whatever little trinket I've gotten them. That's something I've really tried to focus on this year too. Because I mean, the biggest, again, I'll say it over and over, the biggest gift for me is being present with someone and being able to create those memories and enjoy the time together. Because, you know, it's fleeting and there's a limited amount of it. That is the most precious commodity, is your time. And I guess I'm just going to leave you with that. I hope that all of you had a wonderful holiday season, no matter what way you celebrate. If you do celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas Eve, and I hope you have a lovely Christmas morning. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy whoever you're around, whether it's your family or your chosen family or just yourself or just your cat, because I've had those years too. Just really enjoy it and romanticize your life. Make the most out of it. You know, really get into the mood, because I swear to you, I've never regretted it. I've never regretted amping it up a little bit. I've never regretted putting on the music. It just adds to my life so much, and it really does change my mood. I mean, significantly. Like, I'm going to go make Christmas colored Rice Krispie treats with this on my head, because why not? It's just for me. No one's watching. I'm not making a video of it other than this podcast, but it's just that why not? You know, I love that. I've gotten that spirit from my mom's side of the family through the years, and I hope that you leave feeling a little bit of that too. So thank you so much for being here. Enjoy yourselves, and I'll see you next year. Talk to you later. Bye.